Today we need to talk about people saying Jung Kook is sobbing and crying. People believe that Jimin and Jung Kook's military dates are in one day. And then we have RM believed to have said that he is not okay. Say Dumplings is Dave. Decide hate it or not, make sure to subscribe with the notification bell on. Grab his dumpling, tastefully mug merch, and let's go. RM recently left a message for ARMYs and people are absolutely freaking out. The message was insanely emotional and this was RM saying goodbye to everyone. If you aren't aware or just joining BTS after a long time, RM is enlisting very soon and he went on Weverse to leave a message to let everyone know how he is feeling and give a thanks to ARMY. So what did he say that was so heartfelt? I'm going to read it in its entirety and then talk about it. Keep in mind this is translated from Korean to English, so there could be some sort of language barrier. He said, "Hello everyone who I love, at last that day has come. It seems like what I wanted to tell you all circled around me a lot, but now I can't seem to say anything. For the past 10 years, I was so happy that I was able to live as BTS. I've said this constantly like a habit, but because the end is also the beginning, I don't doubt believing after it passes, something else good will be waiting for us. Seokjin, Hyung, and Hosik, who had to endure this time first, would have had a much harder time than us who are following them. Although a little late, I am gaining courage while seeing them doing so well and so bravely. For the time of 18 months, long if we believe it to be long, short if we believe it to be short. I believe that this time will be an unfamiliar and new time, inspiration and learning to all of us. It is frightening and scary, but would be anything more comforting than the fact that there is something to look forward to and long for during that indefinite time. Of course, there is my work, but it would probably be your love. To be someone that is remembered by someone and to be waited for can feel lonely and alone sometimes, but I think I am already full with that love and I hope that I can be that kind of existence to you, rather than the countless words that linger around our ears. Our time, love, and sincerity tell us about our future. I want to be someone that is always by your side even when I'm not next to you. After living diligently in our own individual lives and individual places, smiling wide when we return, hoping that we will be us, who are more frank and full of heart and soul. It is goodbye for a little while. Goodbye when I come back. I will greet you again, saying hi whenever, wherever for us to be us. I see you in the future. I love you a lot. Wishing you that this will touch you even just a little bit." This message made everyone a little teary-eyed and sad. Of course, the boys have talked about how they are happy to enlist and excited to serve the country, but what we are seeing from this letter is that he is not as happy as it may seem, and it's as we suspected, which is that he doesn't want to go. People think that RM is basically saying that he is not okay, but what I see here is RM expressing that he is excited for this new journey and that it gives us something to look forward to in 18 months, which is that RM and the rest of the members of BTS will be reunited. However, it's actually way less than that. Jin will actually be back in about 6 months and he will likely be trying to make an album and start to promote it. This means in only 6 short months will we start getting content again, and this is on top of some pre-recorded content that may come out. People think that the other members are emotional as well, but we are seeing mostly just these thoughts from RM. V actually talked about his feelings towards enlistment during a cute video that came out during a video that was posted of V and his friends. V was asked how he feels about the enlistment, and to everyone's shock, even his friends, V replied saying he wasn't sad but excited. He did have a regret, which was that he wouldn't be able to celebrate his birthday, but he has such amazing friends who made a birthday cake and a whole birthday celebration early, so he still got to celebrate. V mentioned that his dad would often tell him that these stories about his military experience when V was younger, and V's father also talked about how those were super fond and amazing memories. V said that he is excited to experience that and also thinks that those talked about experiences are going to be what is necessary for his own growth, and maybe V hopes to have experiences of his own. They don't have to be experiences like his dad, but I can imagine things like meeting his next friend soulmate, although I feel like he has already met them in BTS, but could have others. People think that Jung Kook actually would be one to sob and cry a lot, but it's actually the opposite, as Jung Kook seemed very happy and excited during his last few appearances. He has probably been trying to soak it in and actually be present and enjoy it. If you've ever been to a red carpet event or anything like that, it goes by in a blur. There's so much that is happening. There's usually an activity that is being planned and you're expected to be present during the activity. So because it's scheduled, there's not not enough time to just sit there and enjoy the event. It usually goes by in such a flash, so it's nice to see Jung Kook taking time to reflect before going into these events to realize that it's not going to last forever. He will likely miss it. One girl actually took a video of Jung Kook during and after Jung Kook's performance at Music Bank. Due to the weird angle and position she was in, the fan could only record Jung Kook from between the person in front of her legs, and it showed Jung Kook enjoying the moment, not sobbing about the military and actually being fully okay, which most people think is strange that he would be. However, Jung Kook might also be looking forward to the new experiences that the military could bring. Jung Kook and Jimin could get a lot closer and bond even more, and both of them could develop and create everlasting friendships outside of each other. People tend to sometimes underestimate the impact the boys have on everyone, but going back to the fan who caught Jung Kook at Music Bank, the fan admitted that some of her videos on her TikTok account was monetized, meaning just that the clip that she took of Jung Kook coming out of Music Bank made more than enough money for her to buy more Jung Kook albums. And so even in this case, it pays to be a Jung Kook or BTS fan. So if Jung Kook or BTS members ever get emotional in the military or just feel not good, I hope they realize that there's people who look up to BTS and even several BTS fan clubs that rely on BTS being active for their living. And I think that is really a beautiful and amazing thing to happen, where the fandom can be supported by supporting the artist. There's also been some predictions by K Media on when the members will go, so if you're not aware, Jung Kook and Jimin are believed to go together as they are enlisted together as companion soldiers. So they will enlist together and stay within the same camp as almost emotional support buddies. And then it's believed that they will enlist separately from V and RM, who will enlist around the same time together. However, the two groups won't enlist super far from each other, but there were some K Media sites that apparently came out and leaked when the two would actually be enlisting, and it's just a rumor, but I think it's interesting that those dates were coming out. So what are they? Before I talk about that, I need to address the elephant in the room, which is that people are always going to say that everyone is spreading misinformation. Yes, this is technically misinformation because it is a rumor. However, I think people in the fandom like to use the word misinformation as a way to say the information is harmful, and that is where I draw the line, because believing or thinking a specific date would be the enlistment date is not harmful. It's just a theory. And so what are those dates? People think the RM and V will enlist on December 11th and 12th will be Jung Kook and Jimin. Now, since this is just a date that K Media believes will happen, why do they think this, and is there any legitimacy to this? Big Hit or Hype reported that they didn't have a date initially, but they are planning on enlisting very soon. It's saying that enlistment is imminent. People decided to make up dates and report on those dates because investors like to know. Investors will use those dates to determine if it's worth keeping their money into the Hybe stock or leaving. However, I think Hybe has made it very clear at this point that their business has long surpassed just BTS, and it has many different avenues to make money. I believe Weverse magazine is a publication that runs on its own and publishes its own news and stories outside of BTS. They also have several artists that are big that are within Hybe, and let's not forget Hybe's US or Western subsidiary, which is extremely big and a huge moneymaker too. I was honestly really hoping that the members would enlist separately and they would enlist slowly, and then the last one might go around February or January, but that seems to not be the case. I do believe they could enlist at any time, which is probably why they have their head shaved. If they still had time, they would likely want to work, and so it must mean that is very close to them leaving. Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out Patreon for more videos, link down below. Thanks for this little bit of comment right here. Love you, bye.